Hello and welcome to Kevin's Commentary on Comics. We are knee deep into the Project Pegasus story. Here's what's happened so far. The Thing is at Project Pegasus to act on the security detail, but also to check on his friend Wundarr. Quasar is the head of security. Giant Man showed up and is also now part of the security detail. They have fought Nuclo. They have fought Deathlock. They have fought Thundra. They have fought... You know what? Let's just get started. Well, so anyway, welcome back. We are at Marvel 2-in-1 number 57, The Thing and Wundarr in When Walks Wundarr. So this one opens up with Giant Man, Quasar, and of course, Ben Grimm, the ever-loving blue-eyed Thing, and a couple of Project Pegasus security and scientist personnel in what can only be described as a cone of silence. They're discussing the events of the last few issues that I so brilliantly recapped at the start of this show. And they finally kind of realize that these are all probably connected. But how? It's a mystery that will remain for now. But they do figure out that it must be some sort of inside job. Meanwhile, we take a peek at Wundarr, who's apparently recovered from his coma-like state and is actually walking about. He easily gets out of his holding cell, although cell is not a great word, it's just some sort of room he's in, because of his null field that surrounds him, just winks out all the energy and power around him, so he walks right on out. And as he's walking out and heading somewhere, he also happens to power down a cell that is holding the mutant known as Solarr. Now, Solarr does have the mutant ability to harness solar radiation in the form of blasts and such like that. Solarr tries to take out Wundarr by blasting him in the back, which that's what all cowardly villains will do. But unfortunately, his power blast just kind of fizzles out way before it even hits Wundarr. So then he decides to tackle Wundarr from behind, because again, that's what all cowardly villains do. But even his momentum futzes out on him and he falls to the ground. Futzes, I said futzes. Out, and he falls to the ground. Again, that null field, kinda handy. So Solarr gives up on trying to tackle or take out Wundarr and decides, hey, you know what? I'm gonna need some help to try to get out of Project Pegasus. This is a pretty big facility. Let's go see who I can get. He first finds Electro and thinks, hey, this guy will be good. But unfortunately, Electro is in a full body cast and obviously is not in any position to help Solarr. We cut to Ben, Quasar, and Giant Man, who finally figure out that Lightner is the inside man and behind all of these break-ins and such, and they need to go get him. Now back to Solarr, who happens to find an old partner of his, Klaw, blasts through the door that's holding Klaw, but only finds Klaw's sonic claw, the thing that's on his hand that does all the power. He's frustrated, saying, what did they do to him? Throws the claw against the wall as it bounces around. Apparently the vibrations of doing all that bouncing around was enough to form Klaw's body, because it's made of solid sound, back to normal. And Klaw mentions that the last thing he remembers was he was fighting the Black Panther. He shot himself. What an idiot. And apparently got absorbed by his sonic claw thing. Hey guys, it's comics. So they beat feet while the heroes get notification of these breakouts. Quasar, figuring it's Lightner trying to escape, flies ahead, and here's where we see George Perez add his magic touch, because this glowing figure of Quasar that we see here is so cool. Lightner, meanwhile, has completed the nth projector and is ready to take the entire Project Pegasus facility into another dimension and be done with it once and for all. But before he does, as all cowardly villains do, he wants to use this device for his own good. You see, Lightner used to be a villain known as Black Sun back in Marvel 2-in-1 number 21. He apparently lost his powers and thinks the nth projector might just get them back. So sure, he has a job to do, but screw that. Let's look out for number 1 and give me my powers back. So he fires it on himself and he's like, whoa, this isn't what I was expecting. Why is this weird energy thing making me feel weird? I mean, come on. Did he think it was just going to be boom and he was Black Sun and that was it? Didn't look like it. So Solarr and Klaw find some sort of monorail car and are trying to make their way out of Project Pegasus by going in the only direction they figure is the best one, up. Quasar stops him with the quantum bands, and again, Quasar thinks it's lightning and discovers, wait a minute, it's Solarr and Klaw. What are you guys doing? Solarr blasts Quasar, which actually blinds him, and they manage to get away. The Thing and Giant Man show up, the three of them jump into another monorail car and proceed to chase them. Solarr uses his solar radiation blast power stuff to take out the tracks behind them, but in front of the heroes start to crash, but Quasar, even though he's blind, manages to put up a quasi-stellar energy field of some sort to cushion the blow. So the Thing shows off his strength by grabbing the two tracks of the monorail and flinging it like a whip, causing it to go up and dismount Solarr and Klaw from their car, and they go crashing off. Quasar, who's getting his vision back, confronts Solarr first, and this time he's ready for Solarr, simply absorbs Solarr's blast and takes him out. One blast, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Wundarr, meanwhile, has reached his destination, which is the storage unit of the Cosmic Cube. Now, the Cosmic Cube has been dormant up until now, but as Wundarr approaches, it begins to glow. Now, back in the fight, Klaw has recovered enough to take out Quasar and then puts up a sound shield around himself because Giant Man starts thumping down on it. Now, remember back a few episodes ago when I talked about the fact that the Thing is an experienced superhero crime fighter? We get to see that experience again. He tells Giant Man to calm down, that thumping on that thing is only going to make it stronger. What he needs to do is just silently poke at it. So he takes a rocky finger and he starts poking at the thing and gets through and eventually disrupts the sound barrier, takes a bash at Klaw, but Klaw manages to get the best of the Thing. Giant Man hurls one of the monorail cars at Klaw, taking him out, and all three of them stand around congratulating themselves when all of a sudden they find that they can't talk. No sound. Uh-oh, Klaw had absorbed all the sound and used that to reinvigorate himself and blast the three of them into unconsciousness. And as the panels close on this issue, Klaw points his sound claw at the Thing's head and says, "I'm gonna turn your brain into mush." Oh no! Cliffhangers abound in this issue. It seems like most of these issues end in some sort of cliffhanger. Great story so far. What are your thoughts about Wundarr? Wundarr is an interesting character for me because my only experience with him is really this issue or this series. And then, hey, spoiler alert, he becomes the Aquarian. That's next issue, the last issue of this story. So we really never saw really much of Aquarian again. Like I said, a couple of glimpses of him in a couple different issues. I think he was featured in the Initiative, but he never really became a big deal, which is funny because on the next issue, issue number 58, it says Marvel 2-in-1 featuring the Thing and, I quote, Marvel's latest, greatest superstar, Aquarian. Not much of a superstar. I kind of dug him. I actually think I dug him better as Wundarr than as the Aquarian. And Klaw, of course, great villain, going to be featured in probably the Black Panther movie when it comes out. His character was actually in Avengers Age of Ultron. He did actually lose his hand, so we know what's going to be in place of his hand, right? The Klaw Sonic thing, Sonic Claw thing. But at any rate, my name's Kevin. That was my commentary. If you want to see the last and final, the epic conclusion to the Project Pegasus storyline, hit that subscribe button. It's down here, right there. It's always right there at the end of these shows. I hope you're using it. If you have used it, thank you. If you're gonna use it, thank you. If you're not gonna use it, well, hey, you know what? Thanks for watching this one lone episode. And I hope you watch more. At any rate, I think that's all I have for today. So why don't you go out, have a good day, and I'll see you later. Bye.